Great, the audio is working. Step one every time. Make sure. Okay. So now we've covered how the head office will be ordering stock, okay?
Yes.
So now we're going to go into how the branches need to order from head office, okay?
Okay. Yes.
So this process normally repeats on a daily basis if you're dealing with cafes or smaller type of shops, which is generally like the clientele we deal with. Obviously it will be a bit longer times if it's a big place because you won't be restocking it daily, you'll be restocking it on a more weekly basis. Okay, so when we go through these things, think about our clientele, not about like ShopRite. You can't do a stock take at ShopRite every day.
Yes.
They do specific products separately. Okay. So generally, when you're dealing with a franchise model, they need to do that stock take at the end of every shift, right? So when they cash up, they do a stock take on specific items. There'll be some items that's excluded, maybe the things that don't get sent on a daily basis, right? For example, on GG, there's the products that like ice cream that get sent like I think maybe twice a month, 3 times a month like that, right? It's not something that they're expecting every day. But pies or coffee, stuff like that, they stop taking every day. Yeah, the things that is easy to check. Yeah. So obviously stock takes is generally a must. So whenever you find a customer is not doing stock takes, just know there's issues that's going to come ahead. Okay, they're going to phone you and tell you that people have been stealing the stock and the system hasn't told them. Okay, so when you see them not doing stock takes, you need to kind of address it with the customer to say that for us as Lyt-Soft, we definitely recommend doing daily stock takes. Don't allow the customer really. Look, if they don't want to use it for only sales, we can't stop them. But if for us, for the system to work correctly, stock takes is a must.
Okay.
And regular stock takes, not once every 6 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that also just helps avoid stock losses, because if you like do a stock take after 6 months, you don't want to be in that situation where you're only doing a stock take when the customer only does a stock take when they can't afford to buy stock. Then you're like, shit, I don't have stock, I don't have money, let me do a stock take. At that point it's too late.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now when you're setting the minimum stock level, the head office will generally set it for the store. The stores normally wouldn't have access to the back office. Okay? The only thing they do of any administrative value is they accept a transfer.
Okay.
Generally, okay? They don't really get involved in creating items or I don't know, going into the back office and changing prices or setting minimum stock levels. They don't do that. So normally head office will log in on their system and do it for them.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm mentioning here how it's calculated, but that's not too important for us. What's important from our perspective is to tell the customer to do it
Okay.
and to show them how to do it and to explain, yes, I know it's annoying at first to be setting it repeatedly, but the benefit will come at the end of the day. Okay? Yeah, and the stores cannot change the MSL, the minimum stock level values without approval, but generally just know that stores won't even have permission. We need to make sure that the cashier can't go in the back office and change anything. Okay? And that ensures that the stock process is standard across all the branches. Okay. So head office will monitor the below minimum stock levels. So when you go into the franchise platform under stock reports, you'll find that stock below minimum Excel sheet. Let me just use my mouse so that everybody can see what I'm talking about. That will show you all the below minimum stock for the entire franchise. Okay, so that's one sheet that shows everything, or you can open an individual store and go and see what is the current items that needs to be replenished. Okay, replenish just means send. Okay, so don't get confused by the wording. Replenish is like just to refresh, like you've drank water, then you're replenished. So when you give somebody stock, you say you've replenished their stock.
Okay.
Yeah, so then based off of that below minimum, the transfers will be then initiated. It's not going to automate the transfer process, but it automates the warnings and to make sure that the business, if they want to, can see what items needs to be reordered instead of them using a WhatsApp group or something like that. Okay. Because a WhatsApp group, I can text you anything I want to. Right, I can just tell you I need 50 all-in-ones, but with no justification, where the system can do it in a much better and consistent manner. Okay, so once below minimum stock is identified, head office transfers the stock to the branch. Okay, so using the send stock function. Have you seen this before?
Yes.
You're looking at it like it's new. You have seen the send stock?
As well.
So when you send stock, you'll select the store you want to send to, and then it sends the stock. Once you finalize. Now the issue is this, right? The stock hasn't been yet deducted from the warehouse. Okay? It's still sitting on the warehouse. Were you aware of this?
Yeah, when you send, right?
When you send, the stock is not deducted from the warehouse. You were aware of that?
Yes.
It goes into the franchise pending list. You guys know the franchise pending list?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, where to maybe to receive stock in the other store.
No. Do you know how to monitor what is pending and what's not pending? So let me quickly go onto the Lyt-Soft system for us here, the franchise. So here under franchises, you can see pending.
Okay.
So these are the ones that has been sent but not yet received at the store.
Okay.
The stores haven't received their stock. Okay, so it's quite crucial to explain that to the customer, this pending transfer.
Okay.
So they can see what the stores haven't received yet.
Okay.
Because if they've not received it, it's still sitting on the head office TV. Okay, only once they accept it at the store does it reduce the stock levels. Okay. So that also makes sure that the warehouse then is following up with the stores to say, have you accepted? Have you accepted? You've accepted the stock. Okay. Interesting enough, there's a setting as well that blocks people from doing stock takes if they haven't accepted the pending transfers. Okay, because the issue that we have, maybe the cashier forgot to receive the stock, then she does a stock take, but the stock is already in.
Okay.
So then she's doing a stock take, then she's going to have a bunch of overages, then she receives the pending stock, then the next day she's going to have a bunch of shortages. So meaning you have to first make sure you've received all your stock before you do a stock take, on the system I mean.
Okay.
Everything that you physically received needs to have been received on the system before you do a stock take. Okay.
Yeah.
This is another issue that we sat with here the other day, where a PO was done, then the stock came, the PO was never converted to a GRV, and then they did a stock take. Then they converted the PO to a GRV the next day. Then the following week the stock take, now it looked like that stock was missing.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yes.
always make sure that all your stock, all your pending things have been done. All your GRVs have been done, all your pending transfers. In this case, they won't have GRVs, they'll just have pending transfers.
Okay.
Right? But I'm talking about at your stores when they want to do a stock take. Make sure they've done the GRV before they do a stock take.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And then, okay. This ensures the accountability on both the warehouse and the branch level. Because the reason why we started with this of not deducting stock is now the branch was sent, then the warehouse was sent to the branch, then the branch rejects it. But then it's already deducted from the warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
That way they were stealing, so that's why we don't deduct from the warehouse until they accept.
Okay.
Okay. If the branch finds that there's items there that they don't have or it's wrong quantities or anything, they can't edit it. They have to just reject it. Okay, then the person sending will go under rejected and modify what needs to be modified and send it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, here's another thing that we need to push for the customers, okay? And this applies to most of the food and beverage industry, right? So restaurants, takeaways, cafes, all of this, right? As well as that it applies to franchises, is generally we must try and avoid things that are weight based, okay? And move towards portions, okay? So let's say now we have a franchise and the store is selling, let's say, steaks. We shouldn't say that we've sent 10 kgs of steak there, okay? And that each then we're linking it like, okay, out of 1 kg, like it's 0.3 or like 300 grams is now deducted per meal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but the issue with that is now for you to stop take, you're gonna have to go and weigh the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Now you have to have a scale. No, the scale was off. No, we can't stop take. Where if you had sent them, let's say that would be 30 portions, right? They can just go and count. Okay, yeah, there's still 10 left.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So we have to avoid weights and volume. Volume just means like liquids, right? Milliliters and stuff. As far as we possibly can, right?
Okay.
Like in a restaurant again, instead of like receiving 750 ml vodka, right, and then linking the mils, you'll say I'm receiving 25 tots. Okay, per bottle. So if I'm receiving 10 bottles, I'm receiving 250 tots.
That's that.
Each bottle has 25 tots in it.
Oh, okay.
So instead of saying that it's 750 ml or it's one bottle, you can just say it's 25 tots.
Okay.
And then, no, but we also sell a bottle. Okay, fine. Then create a recipe that says it uses 25 tots in a bottle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Just makes it a lot easier when we break it into portions.
Okay.
A lot easier. Even when you're doing your recipes, you'll find it a lot easier than trying to remember, like, shit, how many mils does that need, or how many portions, like, it becomes confusing where, like, okay, let's take this as an example, right? We want to make a hamburger, right? A hamburger. So now, we receive mince, okay, in kgs, right? We receive flour in kgs, we receive spice in kgs, we receive, right? Now for you to make a hamburger, how many grams of mince is in a hamburger, right? How many grams of flour, how many grams of spice, how many grams of fucking salt, whatever the case is, right?
Yes.
Or we receive it as patties, okay? We're receiving 10 patties and 10 buns. So now when I'm building a hamburger, I say I use 1 patty, I use 1 bun. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we're trying to avoid that weight thing, because the more complexity you leave at the branch, the more issues there is. If they need to manufacture their own things, like for example Gigi, let them do it at head office. You understand what I'm saying? Let those recipes sit at head office, not at the branch level.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Like we must try and avoid, and in restaurants in general, you must avoid it. Like, you know, our bigger problem, nah, potatoes are very cheap, I get it, right? So now they say, no, we buy potatoes, then we peel them, and then we make, now, potatoes, let's say we buy 10 kg bag. Now depending on the mood of the one peeling, you don't know how much weight you're going to lose, right? And they'll be eating some potato and whatever the case is, right? How many actual grams of chips do you get out of that?
You want to know the actual.
Yeah, you won't know, right? But let's say you think it's like maybe 6 kgs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now you need to already tell the system, like, if I get 10 kgs potatoes, it needs to produce 6 kgs chips.
Yes.
Okay? Then you need to tell the system now, like, okay, we want to use 350 grams of chips per portion again, or per meal, right? So when you do that, it just becomes very difficult to track where shit went wrong. Where if you tell them, listen, even if you get your own fucking, even if you're buying potatoes, tell me how many portions of chips you get out of a kg potato and receive it like that. GRV it as portions of chips.
Okay.
Don't GRV it as potatoes. Okay.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
Like if you're receiving meat per kg, go portion it before you even do your GRV, go portion it.
Okay.
And then you receive the portions.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Yes, I
saying?
understand. Yeah.
So that you know that I've got 30 portions, so I need to sell 30 before it's done.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Because weight is fucking a very terrible idea.
Okay.
There's a reason why McDonald's doesn't work on weight. Remember I told you McDonald's are the industry standard, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then they don't even buy tomatoes like that. They'll be sending slices to the branch. You've got 50 slices of tomato. You understand?
Yes.
It's like that. Nobody even cuts a tomato at the branch. It's already comes as
Sliced.
yeah, but as portions of 50.
Oh, okay.
So they know exactly how many you need to sell before you need tomatoes again. Not no, there was like a spot on the thing and then you understand?
Yes.
And I threw 5 away and no, portioning is the way to go. So they need to portion it and feeding the portion levels into the system. Or from a franchise perspective, they need to get it to a portion level before they send it.
Okay.
Not weight. Weight is always a disaster because it requires a scale and there's many things that affect weight. Like there's, for example, in butcheries, right? Meat dries out, when it's hanging there's blood loss, there's this, there's that. Even the weight itself can change without anything. So it's just a shit way of doing it. The right way to do it is portions, portions, portions. Okay, butcheries don't really have a choice, but all other industries they have a choice. For butcheries, the thing that is best for stock control, if you do deal with butcheries, is let them pre-pack as much as they possibly can. Because once you've packed it, you've already weighed it.
Yes.
Okay? Meaning now you know exactly how much you're going to be selling it for. Where if you put it in that display fridge, it dries out, it changes, it's just a disaster again. Okay. Yeah, so the benefits of the portion-based control, I think we went through it pretty much already, but it standardizes everything, it reduces the errors, but also it reduces the level of staff you require. Now you don't need to go and get somebody with a PhD to be running your shop. You understand?
Yes.
And because like take for example now coffee, no, we use 170 grams, right? In a cappuccino, right? Now that person, when he does his stock take and he's seeing the system is showing him another level, now he doesn't even know how many cups are missing. Because now he needs 178, okay, there's 422 grams difference. Okay, divide 422 by 170, he's going to get confused, right?
Yes.
Where if you had received the coffee as portions, right, you're supposed to have 50 portions left, you have 40 portions left. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it just really helps that a lot. So if they go to portioning, it takes a bit of time for them to do it normally, so because it's a lot more preparation that needs to be done. So we do accept weights. The system can handle it. It's just generally a great way to fucking waste your time is using weights.
Yeah.
It's a really excellent way to always be getting phone calls from a customer saying that, oh, I don't know what the system is saying. So you understand what I'm saying? It's just a good way to waste your time. Okay, so generally from the branches, the process is they need to do their daily stock takes. The head office will manage the minimum levels and stuff. So the branch needs to just make sure that they stock taking regularly. Then the head office needs to take it from there. Head office needs to make sure that minimum stock levels are set correctly firstly on the products. Okay, remember the same way I was explaining to you, head office needs to do it on their consumable products.
Yes.
The same, they need to do it on the branch's products.
Okay.
Okay, and then the head office will daily go and check the stock levels and do the transfers. Okay, to the branches. So the branches just make sure that they've accepted the stock before they do their stock take.
Okay.
Yeah. and portion, as far as you possibly can. Okay. Any questions?
No question for now.
Okay, great. Nothing from you?